Hey, Road Climbers, we're back. We're checking out another new home wall here. You might recognize this guy. This is Chris Gonzales from Home Climbing Wall TV. So when I hooked up with Chris, I thought maybe we would do a tour of his video, but my tours and the tours he does on his channel are on completely different levels. He's already done a tour of my wall, pre-expansion, of course, and he's also done a video of this wall that we're going to climb on today. Instead of me doing a tour of his wall, I figured we'd just plug his video. So I'm going to put him up here in the thingy, and we'll put him in the description as well.
Awesome. Thanks for coming by the wall. I'm super psyched to climb with this guy because last time it was mostly business and not as much climbing as I wanted to do. But I'm psyched to get to actually climb and have a good time and show off the wall and let you actually climb it instead of looking at it on a video.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know how into home climbing walls I am, so I'm super excited about climbing on a new one. So that's what I figured today's session would be, is just a couple buddies hanging out and climbing, and then maybe in between while we're resting, we'll talk about some of the intricacies of his wall and some of the things he learned in the process, and we'll just have a good time.
Awesome. Psyched about it. And I've got a project that I hope you can do because I can't.
All right. So we're going to try some of his projects. He had mentioned that in addition to some of his routes, he has some variant routes. I think it's a really cool concept to do something like that where you can get more bang for your buck in the route setting. And so I'm excited to see what he has in mind for that as well. I rewatched your video and I didn't remember that you had talked about how you purposely left this edge here.
Yeah, I really like it, honestly.
That's something I really like, is you find these things that are just part of your build that end up being holds. Yeah, this is such a good little crimper on the side here.
Yeah, it's perfect. And at first, I was looking at it, I was like, all right, how do I get all of this flush? And then I was like, I don't want it flush.
No.
I actually want to be able to use it. And also it makes my construction job significantly easier. So it's really like a win-win.
Yeah.
But one variant is features on, one variant is features off.
Sweet.
But even just that little bit of a switch makes the climb completely different because your beta changes, your body position changes. And it's those little tweaks that I've really been exploring a lot recently, because it means I get to be lazy with my route setting and get two routes out of one route, basically.
It's efficient. It's more than lazy, it's efficiency, yeah.
I like that phrasing better.
And then, is this homemade? You made this one?
Yeah, so the reason I decided on this angle was, the 30 degree, you'd barely have any climbing surface. Yeah. So the more overhang you get, obviously, the longer it can be. Mm-hmm. And I also really liked leaving this roof in here because those roof transitions are really hard for me.
Yeah, I had a wall in Minnesota that kind of pulls like a head wall like this, but I only had 4 feet, 3.5 feet on the head wall. So your feet were always below in the roof area. And it was like, when you finish, I was like, But I'm really curious about going up here and doing this because I like that concept of being able to pull a head wall all the way with your whole body.
Yeah, I was so excited about that.
Oh yeah.
So that's currently probably my favorite route on the wall. Yeah. I really like the wide compression start. Yeah. I usually don't love using giant holds like this on the wall because they just take up so much real estate. But these are super fun, and you have to find those exact right angles and edges.
Yeah. I hope you want on there too.
Yeah. Nice. that's one of the things that's amazing about having a home wall is like you can identify your weakness and you can work on it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't do for the longest time. For the longest time, I just played to my strengths because it was more fun.
Well, that's the hardest part about route setting is like, so I want to set stuff that is project level a lot of times, but in your head you're like, it's got to be possible, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, what? It's possible, but then it ends up going in like 3 goes because you said it possible. But I mean, obviously you can turn the radius of the angle. You can put it 1 T-nut further away, smaller footholds. So there's little things like that. But yeah, I find like road setting, I'm like, well, where do I want to go next? I'm like, well, it feels comfortable to go here, so let's go here. That's not how rocks are going to be.
Exactly.
Slopers.
Yeah, I like that one too. That's another one that like slopers, they just learning to weight them a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's got great texture.
Yeah, that one, it's an atomic and a relatively new atomic. And so I feel like when you first get their holds, they're too textured, like that black one you're about to reach past. And so it's going to be a 2-hand finish on the left one. And you have a foot out on the left wall as well.
Thanks. Very cool.
So this red heart route, originally these were flipped up. And then again, mild variation, I just spun them. And now it's so much harder. I didn't think it was going to make as big of a difference as it did, but I haven't sent it yet.
There you go. Hold on. Oh, like half an inch.
No.
That's 1 centimeter for all you metric people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks sweet. And then it goes up to the next heart up there.
Yeah.
That's the finish. One of the things that I really try to find is like I know what my strengths are. And then my main climbing partner, his strengths are different. And so we feed off each other. Like he climbs very square. And then like I climb like hip in, twisties and stuff. And like he'll catch like a crimp open hand like every time, like 3-finger drag, everything.
Yeah.
Which obviously part of that is reach or whatever, but like all half crimp or full crimp, everything. So like it helps to have people with different styles so that I can learn to open hand and stuff like that. Because right now, kind of, I feel like open hand and slopers and stuff are my weakness.
Nice.
No, I think you're right.
Solid.
Mantle press, huh?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, right there. Isn't that mantle a doozy though?
Yeah.
I like it. Super handy to have.
Come on. There you go. Pull. Oh. Yeah.
You got this.
Nope. That's my butt too far up. Nope.
So two-hand start here. The original idea was work a series of bumps, but the bumps have turned out to be so hard that now we're just throwing all the way up to that one. So it's and you might be able to get the bumps, but for me, typically, I'm better off
Oh, yeah.
doing a big reach, but you're so pretzeled
Yeah, I understand.
that then moving out of that, you have to like work your foot up out there. And it's a really...
Is it finished here then?
Yeah. It's a really like contorted body position.
These feel awesome.
Thank you.
Wood is, especially like the way you texture these or whatever, is notoriously harder because you have to squeeze harder.
Yeah.
So you're saying originally you go bump, bump,
Yeah.
then like fall into this?
Uh-huh. And I had all this theoretical footwork that was going to go with it, but it just, I don't know if I'm not strong enough or if it's just bad beta.
Well, I think the bump one, even if you made it as, like you said, your variant, like if it's breakable by going straight there, fine.
Yeah.
But like you can put rules on use every hold.
Absolutely.
Like everybody that's not climbers, they always like ask, like, well, how tall is your garage? Like, couldn't you just basically reach to the top? Like, yeah, but that's not the point. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, so I have to always use like, this is a treadmill for runners, right?
Yeah.
This is our version of a treadmill. It's a training device. It happens to be really sweet and really awesome and fun, whereas a treadmill would be super boring for me. But
no, I love that analogy because it's so true. It's like you could just walk across the room, but that's not the goal. Like the goal is to use it as a treadmill.
Oh yeah, this foot is actually really tricky.
It's deceivingly tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to hit like right on the nose and have like just the right amount of pressure. Because too much or too little, because it's wood, and you just fly right off. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Good.
Oh, damn. Yeah, your left is lower than mine was. Nice.
The foot popped off.
Yeah, that was right there, though. That was solid. So this one has two starts. There's the variant where you start on 45, and then there's the variant where you start over here and work your way around. Like when I go mountain bike in the Springs, everything just feels so much easier.
Yeah, and the Springs are even higher altitude than Denver.
Yeah.
All right, keep your feet up.
Yeah, that is a tricky one, isn't it? Nice. Just watch the spin on those last two. Set up the outside screws.
They're pretty good down pulling, so
Okay.
I feel good.
Nice.
Woo!
Solid.
That's some good height.
Right? It feels so much higher. All right, so here's another variant that I don't know if I can figure out any beta to make it work. So it's this orange route, but you're skipping every other handhold. So bigger moves, but they're super solid holds, so it's not like bad.
Okay. Yep.
But then once you get here, it's going out to this guy. Woo! I just can't move out of there. Like hitting that is so hard. It's like the cliffhanger icicle where he's holding on. But from there,
get your bolt gun out.
yeah, I said, if only, right? But from here, like I can't figure out any way to fall into it or to match it. I was like, maybe a hand jam. I don't know. So do you see anything? Because it's just so stretched out and it's so bad.
If the span would allow it, I would see probably trying to come out here.
Yeah, you could do that.
fall like that.
Yeah.
They like jump.
I really like the one you're holding. Like, it just feels cool. It's like one of those really big granite flakes that you get sometimes.
Of the car overhang of roof maybe fit after.
Nice. Yep, that would help. It would make it easier, but you don't always want it.
Oh,
Nice.
that was pretty tough. I don't know, that's gonna be project level for sure. Yeah, so like I actually took a route setting class when I was in Minnesota, and they were like, the example they gave was like, if you feel like you want to smear here, put a hold there, put a full hold there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get it. Makes sense, like for teaching movements.
Absolutely.
But if you're at the upper level stuff, rock's not going to give you a foothold there. If it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah.
So.
And it's definitely, you're right. Like, you want to do that to get started, and to like learn. I mean, you have to get strong in the easy positions before you can get strong in the hard positions, right? Yeah. And so there's definitely a balance of doing both.
All right, so you hit up the yellow one.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, nice. Oh.
That's another one that, sometimes you set a route and you're just like, ooh, I really like how that
Well, I like
out.
how you did that. The instep. That was.
Yeah. Oh, you're okay there, buddy. And smearing the wall, I don't really count that as feature.
Yeah.
It's using the actual. Oh, good. Oh. Yeah, you're good at getting it there. Nice.
Oh yeah. I think I got twisted up there for some reason, but you made that look way smoother. But
You can start climbing. Like at first, he didn't really show any interest. He just watched.
Yeah.
Then one day, he's flying all the way up at the top of the wall. So,
yeah.
A big help is I put the bells up there. It's like, oh, look at these cool bells. And that was it.
So it's
Like,
kind of, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lifetime sport. So when we're old, we're building our own future climbing partners here.
Exactly. 100%. Like this season, I've gotten to climb so much more because I've been taking him out, and my wife started joining me. So like, I've gotten to climb a lot of the 5.5s, 5.6s, 5.7s that none of my buddies would ever go climb with me.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that quick bump.
What? The new jokes.
Yeah, that one you kind of have to cut feet. At least I haven't found a way to do it without.
Oh yeah, that's definitely bumpy.
Nice. Nicely done.
Good. Good. Ooh. There you go.
Nope, that's
I don't know that pressing up makes it easier. So if you broke it by going that way, I think.
So what I just did was the break. The original beta was a right heel hook.
On this?
Yeah. Which was just awful. And not the right beta. But that's how I said it initially.
Yeah.
And made total sense. I had just missed it.
I see what you're saying. So you go like this and then heel hook here.
And then heel hook. And then it's a really high lock off heel hook that you then have to reach your right hand. Which is a great move to practice and definitely worth doing.
Well, I think
you're into
it
heel
does actually make sense. I mean, other than smearing, like smear is okay, but
yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Who's out skinning cats?
Right? Skin an apple. There we go. Make it vegan friendly. Isn't that a good heel hook?
No, that's cool.
I really like
the rock over move for sure.
Huh?
So that it's the pocket?
Yeah.
And then this?
Yep. Nice. Solid.
Yeah, that heel hook was a really fun move, actually.
Yeah, isn't that so much more fun? Like, yeah, I really like it.
So blue and black swirls.
Yeah, so it's these.
Those are like Matoya salts, right?
Yeah.
Love those classic shapes.
Yeah, I really like these crimps because they're not sharp.
Yeah.
But they're still very crimpy.
Yeah.
They've found that balance between.
Yeah.
Because a lot of holds now, some of them I just don't want to grab. And granted, that does mimic outdoors, to be fair.
Yeah.
But if I'm on plastic, I want to be relatively comfortable.
Yeah.
Life's too short to get flappers on plastic.
Oh, Gaston like that.
Yeah. Nice. Speaking of Gastons, one of the variants on this red, it's just a terrible idea.
Oh, double Gaston.
But it's the Gaston start, and then you somehow work your way.
Here's what those other
So this is off on this variant, and you could, I think you can probably maybe cheat it by going here, but the idea was a double Gaston start, and then eccentrically lower and cross.
Okay.
But it's so... I want to see you do it. I hope you can do it because I haven't seen anyone successfully do it. I've desperately flailed and kind of hit it.
Yeah, because you can't really go right hand because you're left hand.
Yeah, you'll just fly away.
Oh, yeah, it's sloopy. Go on. Wow. Because you want to hold it, but also let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And it's so hard to eccentrically go on that because you have to have that pressure to keep it.
Yeah. Like a limit bouldering move. One move that you just work and work and work.
No, my shoulder doesn't want to do that today. Some days you pull on something and it's like, nope, 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 nope.
Oh. Whoa, nice.
You are more crimpy than me, so that might be easier for you, but matching that and then reaching out to that starfish to the left is,
And the sun is on? So while I'm climbing here, though, why don't you tell the real world climbers, what you love about home walls, if you think they're worth it.
So for me, I'm a dad with 2 kids. I run 2 different businesses, and I just started a nonprofit. So I don't have a lot of free time. So I'm able to come out here when the kids go to bed early or before they get up, which is usually when I'm out here, and actually get in a session. I love climbing, but realistically, it doesn't fit in my life very easily right now. It is getting easier because my kids are getting into climbing, but it's so useful just from the standpoint of being able to actually get in some training and also just getting a good time. The other thing is I love the community surrounding it. Every Wednesday morning, me and the guys are here climbing. And so it's on the calendar, so I actually get to see my friends, because if it's not on the calendar, again, there's no time. I'm never going to actually get to have that community interaction. Nice. I didn't see your match, so you're going to have to redo that.
Your match, is it on that juggy one?
Oh, no. I meant I didn't see here.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't actually see what you did.
I'll do that.
I was too busy talking. Yeah, so the community aspect of it is huge to me. And then also, like we talked about earlier, you can set to your weaknesses. So for the longest time, I could barely do a compression move, but now I've set multiple compression boulders, and it's getting easier and easier. So bottom line, from a fun standpoint, from a convenience standpoint, and from a technical training standpoint, they're all absolutely worth doing to build your own home wall. So go do it. Watch his videos. He teaches a bunch. He has a bunch of examples. I've got some examples, so you should definitely go build the home wall tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right, so what'd you do on this? Like, do you remember your hand position?
Yeah, so I made sure to leave space here and grab this here.
And then you matched it there? Okay.
This, yeah.
That's what I attempt to do, but my
I
problem...
think I moved my foot first here.
Okay. Because the lower I get, when I move my feet, I don't have that strength
So
to make that transition.
I did a foot swap here and brought my left foot up here.
Okay.
So let's see if I can duplicate it.
Oh, I
over
like
on
that
that knee.
low knee. Yeah, because that keeps your hips close to the wall, whereas I'm constantly throwing mine off the edge.
Yeah. And then get to the side. Oh.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, because I feel like I usually was a bit more open here.
Yeah.
So my hips were back, so making that would just peel me off.
Yeah, just kind of
really dropping in and rocking in. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Keep your pelvis in the wall.
Yeah, I like that.
So is there anything about your wall, like things you learned in the process that you would do differently if you started over? Or if you had to rebuild your wall? Like any mistakes you made that, or design decisions you would have made differently?
So, that's hard. If it was just me climbing this vertical slab wall, I would want a lot more variance instead of, it's almost all vertical. There's a little bit of positive and a little bit of negative slope up toward the top, but I would want more variety there.
Yeah.
But because I have kids, like, this is really good for them to learn on.
Yeah. Well, if you're not planning on parking here, yeah, absolutely. Like, I can see this being like a 15-degree overhang up all the way to the ceiling.
Yeah. And theoretically, like, I built all this so I still can park my giant truck in here. I never have. But I'm able to. Like, I just fold up the mats and I'm good to go. Everything fits.
In theory, you wouldn't use many handholds here. I would maybe think about just doing a strip of 2x12 or something for footholds.
Yeah.
And then you have these footholds for these kind of moves. Right to your spider trap.
It's really sticky, so I could just stick something on there. Yeah, probably fine.
Yeah. No, that's the cool thing is like looking at a space and like, oh
yeah,
and just seeing what it could be.
Absolutely.
Because if you never needed to park in here, guess what I would do? I would have a wall that starts here and comes up here this way.
That would be super.
And then you have this figure eight shape.
And so I thought about that. So in my mind, I was like, if I just T-nut a piece of plywood and frame it, I could just lean it on here and like clip it in with a carabiner. Oh. So I could still move it back and forth if I needed to pull in, but then I would have more climbing space right here.
I'm sure you may already subscribed to this guy, but you need to check out Manny the Monkey. He built an apartment wall that was on a hinge up on the ceiling and then a hoist, and it hoists up like this.
Oh, that's awesome. That would totally work right here.
Yeah, you'd hinge it here and then it hoists up out of the way when he wants it.
Because so I've got the projector here. That would still shoot over, and then I could still sit in my usual spot if I just hoisted it. Ooh, got my wheel.
You guys need to check out Manny the Monkey too. He's got a way bigger YouTube channel than me. So Manny, if you ever see this, plug my channel.
Man, I've got the T-nutted sheet right there, and I've got the framing on the other side. This might have to happen. I like the way you think, right? So now the question is, maybe over here, that way you can connect it with this roof.
Yeah, you can put screw-on holes here and here.
Yeah.
To do the transition.
Yeah.
So you'd have footholds right here.
That would be cool.
Up your edge, up your arete of your drop-down climbing wall, and then.
That would be super cool. I like the way you think.
When you build it, you call me. I'll come help you build it. We'll document it.
I like it. So speaking of beams, you can see I have stuff here. So this is actually fun to traverse across, like throwing heel hooks and just working your way down.
All right, watch my head.
Doesn't that toe feel good?
No, it's just terrible.
I really like the toe.
I didn't trust it at all.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it just feels, I don't know, to me it feels really good. And then, yeah, there's actually not a lot of great options of reaching your hands out here now. I just realized that because I didn't set for it. But, okay, that works. Top out. Top out.
Oh, yeah,
top out. Let's see. Is it clear enough? Yeah, it's clear enough. Yes. Finish it. You got it. Keep rocking. Yes. There it is. Solid.
Woo! Yeah.
I'm just glad you did the top out because so many of my friends refuse to do it, but I like it.
Yeah. No, that's ballsy for sure.
Yeah.
So earlier you mentioned that you run a business, and your business is about like helping people do their outdoor adventures for their lifetime, right?
Absolutely. So I'm a manual therapist and what I call a movement consultant. So it's my job to help outdoor enthusiasts prepare their bodies to adventure forever. So a lot of mobility work, a lot of strengthening work surrounding that, because some people will get bendy, but they don't have strength to back up that new flexibility. And especially in climbing, that's actually a liability, not an asset. So as you expand your range of motion, you need to be able to engage it neurologically and also have the strength to support your joints as you're climbing. So I've got online programs, I do virtual consults, and if you happen to be in the Colorado Front Range, you can hit me up, movementtraining.co.
And I'll put the links for that in the description. I'll put links to his YouTube channel and the videos that he did for my wall and for his own wall. They're awesome videos. They're like TV movie production value. Think like MTV Cribs, except for home walls.
Exactly.
And Chris, thanks so much for having me at your home.
Dude,
wall.
thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
This was a blast. Thank you guys for joining us. And don't forget to clip the chains on the subscribe button right down there.
See you guys in the next video.